Good morning, students of class 10. Welcome to our English period, and today let us start with the next new lesson in our English literature named as The Three Questions, written by Leo Tolstoy. So, basically, this lesson, The Three Questions, is a story of an ideal king who is in search of convincing answers to his three important questions. The answers would enable him to rule his kingdom efficiently and also lead his life happily. So let us see whether he gets satisfactory answers to his three important questions or no. So let us start about the author. There is an introduction regarding the author and also about this lesson, Leo Tolstoy. The name actually of this author is something else. Please take help of the internet and find out his name. Since he is a Russian, his Russian name is something else, and Leo name has been given by the Englishmen to him. So Leo is his English name, and your job is to look for his Russian name. Make a note of it somewhere, and please try to remember. Anything that is extra information can help you anytime in future. So, starting about his introduction, Leo Tolstoy was born in the year 1828 and he passed away in the year 1910. He was a Russian writer who is regarded as one of the greatest authors of all time. He first achieved literary acclaim in his 20s with his semi-autobiographical trilogy, Childhood, Boyhood and Youth. Semi-autobiographic means it is an autobiography, that means a story about yourself, but with a tint or a shade of some fiction or some imaginary elements. Fine. So in order to make this autobiography complete, so this is a for his semi-autobiography trilogy, Childhood, Boyhood and Youth, he first achieved literary acclaim. And how old was he? He was so young. He was just in his 20s. Now, a parable is a short story with a moral lesson. A parable usually has human characters. This parable concerns a king who wants to find the answers to what he considers to be the three most important questions in life. So what is a trilogy? A trilogy is again a set of three works of art that are connected and can be seen either as a single work or as three individual works. They are commonly found in literature, movies, video games. I can tell you the names of the films which are an example of trilogy, and they are Home Alone. We know that it is in three parts. Then Back to the Future, The Hobbit, Star Wars, and etc. Something more about this author I would like to share with you, that he received multiple nominations for the Nobel, not Nobel, but it is Nobel, for the Nobel Prize in Literature every year from 1902 to 1906, and for the Nobel Peace Prize in the year 1901, 1902 and 1910. Unfortunately, he could never win it. So this was all about the author, and we understand that this is a parable, that is a short story with a moral lesson. So now let us begin this. The Three Questions by Leo Tolstoy. Once a certain king had an idea. If he always knew the right time to begin everything, if he knew who were the right people to listen to and who to avoid, the most important thing to do, he would never fail in anything that he would undertake. And above all, if he always knew what was the most undertake. Undertake means what was the important thing that he could do. Since he was convinced that he was right in thinking this way, he had a proclamation made in his kingdom. He would give a great reward to anyone who would teach him what the right time was for every action, who the most necessary people were, and how he might know the important thing to do. So very easy to understand. This is very lengthy. So what were his three questions? Who would teach him what the right time was for every action? Next was who the most necessary people were, and the last question was how he might know the most important thing to do. So these were his three important questions which he considered, and he wanted satisfactory, convincing answers to them. So for that he approached the learned people of his kingdom. So many learned people came to the court, but they all gave different answers. So as many number of people, those many number would be the those many different answers he would get. In reply, the first question in reply to the first question, some said that to know the right time for every action, one must draw up in advance a table of days, months, and years, and must live strictly according to it. That means some learned people suggested him to have a planner, that is a timetable, and he should strictly follow it. Others declared that it was impossible to decide beforehand the right time for every action, but that not letting oneself be absorbed in idle pastimes, one should always attend to all that was going on and then do that was most essential. Okay, so that means the other set of people suggested that the king should not sit idle waiting for the right time to come in. Rather, he should keep doing things as and when as they come in front of him, and also pay attention to something that is very, very essential. Yet others said that it was impossible for one man to decide correctly the right time for every action, and that the king should instead have a council of wise people who would help him to fix the proper time for everything. So some of the people suggested the king that you should have a group of counselors who could advise you as and when you require their help or their suggestions. Equally varied were the answers to the second question. So many answers to the first question. Were they all common? No, the king could not come to any conclusion regarding his first question. And what was his first question? What was the right time for every action? Now, let us see what happened to the second question. Equally varied were the answers to the second question. Again, he got different answers for his second question. What was the second question? Who was the most necessary people? Okay, who were the most necessary people? So some said the people the king most needed were his counselors. Why the counselors? Because they would advise him. Then some said that the important people were the priests, and some said the doctors were important necessary for the king, while some said the warriors were the most necessary since he was a king. So some suggested that the warriors were most important for the kingdom and for the king. So again, different answers for the second question. Now what happened to the third question? To the third question about what was the most important occupation or what was the most important thing to do, some replied that the most important thing in the world was science. Others said it was skill in warfare since he was a king. So some thought that he should be well equipped in his warfare. So they suggested to be skilled in warfare, and others again that it was religious worship. So the king was convinced by none of these answers and gave the reward to none. The king was not happy with any of the the learned persons, and so he gave no reward to anybody. He then decided instead to go to a hermit who was widely renowned for his wisdom. The hermit lived in a small hut in a forest which he never left. He spoke only to common folk. So the king put on simple clothes and approaching the hermit's cell is the hut, dismounted, that is he came down from his horse and left his bodyguard behind. So this reminds us about the poem that we learnt in class 9. It was the last poem in literature, that was Tansen. Fine. So it's the same here also. The king wanted to meet the hermit, but the hermit lived in a forest in a small hut. In order to meet him, he had to clad himself very simple because he spoke to only common people. So therefore he wore common simple dress, and he dismounted from his horse. That means he did not ride on his horse to the hermit's place. and neither did he take his bodyguard along with him over there. So then what happened later we will study in the next session. Till then, goodbye. Thank you.